What's up to Lion Talk Live? So we love you too, buddy.
What's going on, guys? It is Aiden Hutchinson.
What's up, man? It's your boy Amon-Ra St. Brown.
What's going on, Coach Dan at Lions Talk Live and the Duke Crew. This is Ball Hawk, Fatima of the Detroit Lions. Everybody make sure you help support the YouTube channel Lions Talk Live by clicking that like and subscribe button. Let's get it and go Detroit.
Greetings and salutations to everyone out there in YouTube land. This is Dan Skipper, offensive weapon for the Detroit Lions. Make sure you all help support Lions Talk Live and Coach Dan by clicking on that like and subscribe button. Everybody, woo!
Well, greetings and salutations, everybody out there in YouTube land. I'm your host once again, Dan Thornton, and I want to thank you all for joining us here today, this Saturday morning, 24. Well, I guess it's not technically 24, but one day ahead of the big matchup with the Tennessee Titans. I think the Lions are going to have a pretty good day out there myself. You heard Dan O'Damas's expert analysis and prediction yesterday, and I do think we're going to get at a few topics today that are going to make us all think, hey, Lions got a chance to put up some stats here, put up some scores, maybe develop some younger players, and continue some consideration for Offensive Player of the Year, maybe MVP or whatever. So I wanted to take a break today and not talk about, trade this, trade that, or, this, that, or the other thing. Just kind of focus on our own team for a minute. The Lions, as we probably are all aware, do a pretty dang good job of drafting players, scouting players, finding undrafted free agents, or even locating talent on other teams that maybe that team missed. So we're going to dive into all that, kind of compare some things to what Pro Football Focus and, and other analysis individuals have said about our players. Dive into that and just have a conversation today that isn't related on, hey, let's potentially get this guy or who's talking to this person about that person. My mom, she's out there working for us. She's trying to find more news, but, I wanted to give her a day off. So hopefully you guys don't mind the non-trade talk stuff today. All right, with all that out of the way, let's get into a couple of real quick things. If you haven't yet subscribed to Lions Talk Live, please consider doing so. We're making that push for 11,000 subs. So, yeah, we hit 10,000 yesterday. So, little, celebration there. And then, now it's on to 11,000. So, if you can help out with that, that'd be great. Also, if you would be so kind, if you enjoy the show, if you enjoy the content in the channel, go ahead and reach out. It's free of charge. Hit that thumbs up button. As you guys probably are aware, every one we get for a thumbs up or a like helps the show get kicked out to people who have not yet discovered Lions Talk Live. Last but not least, if you are looking perhaps for something to read, consider going to Amazon.com or wherever you buy your books, online or otherwise, and order Kajora book. It is the first in a 9-part series. Second one comes out next year. So if you were looking for something to read, this is a historical fictional novel based on Japanese and Native American cultures. Won't bore you with taking you through all of it, but if you want to go ahead and order that, and if you like it, leave a review, please, and thank you. All right, with all that out of the way, we'll go ahead and get into the first segment of the day, and as you guys know, that is 5 Headlines Now. All right, 5 headlines now. All right, let's get rolling. Lions causing wild hangover effect for opponents in next games. Larry Brown Sports, never even heard of them before. A story by Daryl Albert. So what I can say is I think we all get at this point. The Lions, if you play them, you're probably losing the following week. Even if you're the Tampa Bay Buccaneers and you are able to pull off a win against us, you're probably going to result with a few losses yourself. Tampa Bay Buccaneers, by the way, man, they are not in a great spot when it comes to their wide receivers, but that's neither here nor there. All right, so, yes, I think we all get it. You're playing Detroit. It's probably not going well. Dallas Cowboys may have averted a situation like this by having a bye week, but they may be the only team that gets that luxury. We'll see how they do this week. All right, why Detroit Lions open Friday's practices with fun passes to offensive lineman Detroit Free Press Dave Burkett. Dave Burkett, we all saw it against Dallas late in the game. Initially, while I was doing the live cast, I said, man, I don't really know about this. If I'm Dallas, maybe I'm getting a little spiteful by the fact that you're trying to throw fade patterns to Taylor Decker, hook and laterals to Penei Sewell. You got Dan Skipper lined out at the X receiver, all that kind of stuff. And I get why you're doing it to work on some stuff. But I do think the Lions are legitimately just trying to make sure at the start of practice, you just had everybody do some tough stuff, some conditioning stuff. Now you try to lighten the mood a little bit. You try to have everybody get involved with things, make them feel like, they get to touch the ball. You just try to keep the energy high throughout the long season and practices. That's one thing I will say. If you read Dave Burkett's story on this, I do believe there's a lot of wisdom in regards to that, whether you're an offensive coordinator, defensive coordinator. You want your guys, you want your players to not feel like every day is, Groundhog Day, where it's a, repetition from the day before, the exact same thing. You want to try to keep things fresh. You want to keep that energy level high, keeps players engaged, keeps them focused, and you know what? It keeps them healthy. Let's see. Detroit Lions being proven right about belief and versatile depth at linebacker. MLive.com, Ben Ravenmore behind this story. And I thought it was almost perfect timing bringing this up because we chatted about it, I think, a few times this week. Detroit Lions, even though they're down one of their starting linebackers in Derek Barnes, would you really notice it? Could you look at them and say, man, they're missing a starting backer? I don't think you can. And that's a lot of credit to this linebacking core being just so versatile, so depth, able to play multiple different positions. Alex Anzalone can play all three. Jack Campbell, I guess you could say he can play two of them. Malcolm Rodriguez might be able to play all three. I mean, anything you ask this kid to do, he's out there doing it, whether it's playing linebacker, tight end, fullback, special teams. I mean, whatever it is, he does it and he excels. And then Trevor Nowalski, man, this kid, he might not play the most snaps, but when he's out there, we can say every week he is graded out, near the top of his position across the NFL. So give him kudos and praise for that. Could there be other players? It could be. I know Bo in the chat, his favorite is Bo Plan Man, and I think if they ever do bring him back and elevate him to the 53-man roster, he's another guy that seems to fit the mold. Detroit Lions linebackers, they're pretty legit. All right, let's see. Next would be Josh Pascal ruled out versus the Titans. SB Nation. We'll talk about it when we dive into the injury updates for both teams. But Joshua Pascal, we've all been wondering, hey, did he have the flu, stomach bug, or whatever is going on? We got full disclosure from Joshua Pascal himself last night regarding this. In fact, I'll go ahead and bring it up on the screen. He spoke to an MLive reporter. I believe it was Ben Raven, who the aforementioned Ben Raven, I should say. But as most of you guys probably remember, Pascal's been facing some situations in the past with recovering from cancer. So it does sound like Pascal's out there and he's basically just trying to get back right. He had a checkup. Is this it? All right, this isn't the right one. Anyways, I'll just walk you guys through it. So sorry about that. But let me just bring up his comment here. So this from Ben Ravenmore, spoke to Lions defensive lineman Josh Pascal. He's been out after something came up in his annual checkups after dealing with cancer in college. He said he's all good. Thanked the people at Henry Ford. Said it's about getting his strength back and is targeting to return next week. So sorry if I got tongue-tied twisted there. But yes, he's a cancer survivor. And while he's not specific what happened, something popped up. It seems like that's what he's been dealing with. And yes, he'll be fine, according to his thoughts, at least, for next week. So thoughts and prayers for Joshua Pascal. Hey, he's pulled something off in college as a young kid that most of us don't have to face in entire life, and hopefully he's going to be A-okay. From all accounts, it sounds like he is. All right, we talked about having a little bit of an injury update, so let's go ahead and get into that real quick as I pull up the screen, and there we go. All right, so as you can tell, Ladarius Sneed, who the Lions did try to acquire in the offseason, looks like he's going to be out this game along with one of their starting offensive linemen, offensive tackle, and that's Jalen Duncan. He's out with a hamstring. Sneed is out with a quad for the Tennessee Titans. Tennessee's also looking at having a couple of people that may play, may not play, but the linebacker Jerome Baker is questionable. Same with Will Levis because of his shoulder. Running back Spears is out with a hamstring. Sweat, defensive tackle, is out with a hip. Well, I shouldn't say out, questionable with a hip. And then Brownlee Jr., also questionable with an ankle. So they've got some guys out and a bunch of guys that are questionable. For the Detroit Lions, Pascal, I aforementioned, he will be out, along with Christian Mahogany, still recovering from mono, going to be out. Other than that, though, there's nobody doubtful, nobody questionable for the Detroit Lions. So they're as healthy as they really can be, in my opinion. So that's good news going into tomorrow. All right, haven't run this segment in a while, so I figured why not do something since it's kind of trying to avoid some of those other conversations today. Let's go into NFC North news and notes. All right, Green Bay Packers Green Bay acknowledges Packers' latest Lambeau lease offer, hints at readiness to resume talks. This is from the Green Bay Press Gazette. So yes, the Green Bay Packers, one of the most iconic franchises in the NFL. You could argue the NFC North, all four of the franchises are among the most iconic in the league, but have your own thoughts on that. They do need a new lease with the city. They're trying to work something out, the team and the city. The mayor's trying to step in. The government's trying to step in. Everybody in Wisconsin's trying to make this thing happen because obviously the idea of the Packers not being in Wisconsin, that doesn't work for anybody. I don't think anybody out there wants to see them potentially leave. Could it happen? Sure. If you don't have a lease, you probably got to go somewhere. Hopefully both sides can resolve this issue. Vikings to place Christian Darso on IR, activate TJ Hawkinson. Yeah, and hey, sometimes as a coach, the thought of doing something is a whole lot better than the reality of doing something. I'm going to guess the Minnesota Vikings really wish right before halftime of Thursday night's game, they just take a knee, get into the half, regroup, and go from there. If you watch the play, though, there's limited time left in the half. Really, do you have an opportunity to go, whatever it was, 93 yards down the field and score or get a field goal? Sure, there's always a chance, right? But Christian Darso blocking, got hit from behind. Not quite the same thing that happened to Aiden Hutchinson, but kind of the same setup here. You have people that are moving around. You can't see things. Things happen at the line of scrimmage, especially when you have everybody flying around. Darso's blocking, gets rolled up on behind, and now his season is over. He already went through surgery. Thoughts and prayers for him that he can make a full recovery. TJ Hawkinson, you all know the former Lion, blew out his ACL. Does appear like he's going to be back and ready to go. Not this week, but next week or the next game for them. All right, the Chicago Bears move on from 2022 third-round pick. Velus Jones Jr., Fox 32, Chicago on this. So he is a wide receiver, kick returner, and running back all in one. And unfortunately, just did not pan out for him for the Chicago Bears. Not huge news for anybody. He's been in the league a couple years, just didn't pan out. Hopefully he catches on with somebody else. All right, that's it for all the NFC News and North stuff. We'll have the rooting guide tomorrow morning at the tomorrow morning show, and we'll go through all that stuff then. Now let's go ahead and get over to the main topic of the day. All right, main topic of the day, and I'm going to need you guys to help out with this one in the comments section. I'm going to bring up some players on the team. You let me know if you think they're elite or not elite, basically. Let's put it this way. Would you say they're top 5 at their respective position in the NFL? If you are, you're probably an elite level player. If you get into the top 10, maybe you could still quantify someone as elite. I'm going to leave that to you guys, what you consider elite or not. But as I try to think of something that wasn't trade talk or whatever else talk, or, this guy talked to that person, whatever, I wanted to just say, hey, let's look at our own roster and look at them, see who's grown up, see who's become one of the bigger players of the NFL, and have that conversation for today. So I'm going to bring up some players. Let's just start with, this top spot for any NFL team. That's the quarterback spot, because if you don't have one, you got no chance. Just look at the University of Michigan. And I'm not trying to be a hater on the University of Michigan. Obviously, I'm a USC fan. I do watch a ton of Michigan football games because most of my friends and family watch it. But here's what I can say. University of Michigan's got a pretty dang good defense. They do not have a good quarterback situation. And if you don't have one, what you allow defenses to do to you, it just really makes it tough to even move the ball. And don't hold me to this. I don't pay enough attention to the stats for the University of Michigan, but I want to say they're about the worst passing offense in the entire nation. Like only a Navy and Army are maybe below them or right around them. I don't know. The Sarge, Tony Libretto was talking to me about it last night. So I thought, hey, well, maybe Michigan needs a quarterback. So, all right, getting back to the Detroit Lions, Jared Goff, you could say this, at least in my opinion, since he's been a Detroit Lion, he has mostly played in a top 10-ish level across the league as far as quarterback play. You can make the argument he's been an MVP candidate, and he was with the Rams in I want to say 1 or 2 different seasons. But his play this year, I think, especially if you look at the last 4 games, has been elite level. He's doing stuff no quarterback in a gajillion years of the history of this league has ever done. 18 out of 18, 3 out of 4 games where he doesn't even throw an incomplete pass in the first half. Just stat after stat after stat, completing 80+% of his passes. And they're not all dink or dunks. There was one guy I was having a conversation with about it, and Lions fan, he was like, yeah, but you look at his, yards per attempt or pass or whatever it was, and it's only like 9.8. I was like, yeah, but that's top in the league. So he is throwing the ball downfield. I mean, he's had, was it 40-some yard touchdown pass to St. Brown last week, and that's all through the air. That's not, yards after catch. So you get it. Goff is just on fire. He's seeing the field. He's comfortable. We talked about it during the live cast. Even when he's getting pressure and people trying to strip sack him from the back, he just steps up and he's looking like a vested veteran who just has reached a crescendo in his career where the game's all slowed down. He sees things before they're happening now. He's calm under duress and stress. And yeah, I would say you got to put Goff. Now, that's just my opinion. You can have your own and have them in the comment section. But I think you got to put Goff as an elite level player. All right, even though he's injured, I came up with Aiden Hutchinson. I don't really think it's a big push here to say Aiden Hutchinson, before he was injured, is definitely a top 1, 2, 3 person at defensive end across the entire league. He can play the run. He can get to the quarterback, and he does it in droves. Either way, however you want to slice it, Aiden Hutchinson probably is going to be an elite level player for the foreseeable future in this league. I've mentioned it since the day they drafted him. I think he's the second coming of Robert Porsche or Bruce Smith. I've often said back in the day when I used to cover the NFL for different outlets and such, Bruce Smith was a monster defensive end because he could destroy the run. He could destroy the pass. He can read plays. He can make plays in coverage. He can make plays getting in, like I said, the running back or to the quarterback. He was just a complete player. Aiden Hutchinson is the closest thing, in my opinion, that I've seen to Bruce Smith in my years of covering things. All right, so Aiden Hutchinson, like I said, I'm going to put him probably, in my opinion, if he's not number one, he's number 2 in the league. Jared Goff, if he's not number 1, he's somewhere in the top 5. And I guess you could really split hairs with him. All right, from there, I'm going to move on to Amon-Ra St. Brown. The knock on him from some players in the league, and I don't remember the guy's name unless he was a Dallas Cowboy DB, saying, he's just the slot merchant. He only does stuff, here or there, that part of the field. This year, you have seen him run a lot more deep routes. And some of that, I think, is because the coverage, Sam Laporta, Jameson Williams, Tim Patrick, among other people, they're shifting coverages to try to mask different people, try to take away different options on different plays. Defensive coordinators are shifting coverage, I should say, which means you can't cover everybody. You are going to give up something. And because Jared Goff is playing at such an elite level, because the offensive line is playing so well, it means the route tree for St. Brown has really grown. And we are seeing him doing so much more. I think he's a top 5 NFL wide receiver. I'm not going to say he's number 1. I think it's just the difference between number 1 and number 5 in the NFL. The vast majority of the time at the wide receiver room, it's just, you're being nitpicky. Unless Randy Moss or Kelvin Johnson are out there, I think the rest of the wide receivers in the NFL are pretty similar in that regard. So I'm going to say St. Brown is definitely an elite level player. All right, next, I had to really think on this one, and I've been leaning towards it for a while. But after just watching game after game after game this year, I don't see anybody else in the league playing clearly better than him. That doesn't mean some people aren't playing at the same level as him, but I think for a second-year player, there's a whole lot of GMs in the NFL this year. Right now, they're sitting there going, man, we messed up. We should have probably drafted this guy, and that's Brian Branch. Brian Branch, I love the way he plays the run. I love the way he now baits quarterbacks into throws, and that's 2 straight weeks. He's shown quarterbacks one thing, and once he sees that arm start winding up, if you watch it on the coaching film where you can have the full angle, you can see where he's setting up Dak Prescott. You can see where he's setting up Sam Darnold into making them think a throw's open when it's actually not. And you know what? He's jumping the route. I think this guy is going to be increasing throughout the year. I think he's not even playing at his best football yet. But already, I'm going to say he's a top 5 safety in the league. And I know I already said it. I don't see anybody in the league playing better than him right now at safety, especially in his particular position. He can play at the cornerback position. He can play as your Sam backer if you need him to on plays. He can play either safety spot. I mean, his versatility is off the chart. He can rush the quarterback. He can play the run. And yes, he can play the pass. So I'm going with Brian Branch as an elite level player. The next one, I don't think too many people are going to contest this one because I think this guy, if you had to redraft the 2021 draft, he might be number one in the league, the number one overall pick. If not, he'd probably be a top 3 pick. He is a generational talent, in my opinion, and one that if he wanted to play fullback, halfback, tight end, really, he might be able to play defensive end, linebacker. I don't know. But Penei Sewell is just that type of genetic freak. And, the fact that the Lions have him, I'm glad that Ben Johnson is trying to incorporate him slowly last year and this year into more and more things because he does things that no other offensive lineman in the world can do. He's that athletic, that strong, that nimble, agile, however you want to term it. He's, to me, without a shadow of doubt, he's the best right tackle in the league. And that's no disrespect to anybody else. I just don't see anybody else on any other team that is nearly what he is. Lawrence Taylor, when I would write on him, part of the reason why he was so dangerous is because his just raw genetic God-given abilities. He had stuff in him that you can't teach. Penei Sewell fits that, and there's other guys in the league that have that in different positions, but Penei Sewell, in my doubt, he's not a top 5 right tackle in the league. He is the number 1 tackle in the entire NFL. Again, you guys can have your own thoughts on it. All right, we got 2 more here, and if you guys have others, go ahead and let me know. Like I said, this is just my list I came up with. Frank Ragnow, I don't think he's currently the number 1 center in the league, but I think he's in the top 5, maybe the top 3. He's had some injuries this year. It's obviously affected his ability to perform at the best of his ability, but the fact he's out there with a torn pec, it doesn't even want to take a day off, does show you kind of who his character is and just how God-given, athletically gifted he is. I don't know if he's as athletic or gifted as Penei Sewell, but, he is what he is. He's a Sherman tank, whatever you want to say. The guy's a wall that you can't run through, and he is a game changer. He affects the game in multiple different ways, and if you watch blocking assignments, what it allows Frank Haley to do with some of the guards, since they don't have to help him out, they can help out in other areas. It does open up a lot of opportunities for this Lions offensive line to do more than most offensive lines. And the last one, hey, kind of being a knucklehead with this one, but, I'm just having some fun with it because from a grade standpoint, he is an elite level player, and that is Trevor Nowatzki, the new Sam backer for the Detroit Lions. Do I really think he's a top 5 Sam in the league? Not yet. I'll go with that. How about that? Not yet. But from a grade standpoint, and if you're just looking at Pro Football Focus grades and Sports Illustrated grades and, whoever else, then yes, he is. If you just grade him on what he's done in these past 3 games, he is playing at a very good level. Now, could he actually be an elite level player maybe by the end of the year? It's possible, sure. If he continues it up and now he gets from, say, 15 to 18 snaps a game to more of like 30 or 40, and he continues those scores, then you know what? They may have just found a diamond in the rough because looking at him, looking at his RAS scores, his 40 times, he might be a top 5 athletic linebacker in the league, and he might be the league's fastest linebacker in just 40 times. The guy can fly. He is huge. He hits. He needs a lot more experience and reps, though, to probably legitimately be a top 5 guy. But all the raw material is there. In time, could he progress into that? It's possible, I think. And so, all right, that's what I came up with, you guys. Let's see what the Duke Crew has to say. We do not have a special guest today, so I can try to get through all the 3,000 different comments in here, but I'll try to have some fun with it. And again, if you guys have different thoughts, it's okay. Throw them in the comment section. Let me know what you think. And yes, Nowatzki's kind of I'm not being serious that he's an elite level defender yet, but I think he's got some potential. All right, see, Michael, great salutations, Duke Crew, back at you. Bo, good morning, Duke Crew, elite in my eyes, exclamation point, I see Super Bowl, woo, and good morning to you too. Michael, 36-17, go Lions, thumbs up, and woo, all right, Michael, I'll take that. Chew, I seen that J-Mo puts Oreo McFlurry on his hamburger. That's probably flagged the test. Yes, that might have done just it, man. That and, who else was saying it? Because McDonald's had salmonella or whatever it was in their burgers and the onions or whatever. That maybe that was some of it too. Who knows? It's possible. But good morning to you too. Clark, what's up? What up, Duke Crew? Question mark. Anyone watching the MSU versus U of M game? I'm sure a lot of people will be. I don't know if I will. I don't know if I have that kind of patience. Not sure if either team's going to do too well. We'll find out, though. Man Bear, good morning. Dan Aru in the Scooby-Doo crew, exclamation point. Go Lions, back at you. Big Eddie, great salutations. I see that, you. I wonder if that's what he tested positive for. Yes, correct. It'd be the $1 million question. Man Bear, oh yeah, we'll go with that. And good morning. Trey, what's good? All question mark. I really like the direction the team is going with their own homegrown athletes. Yeah, I mean, they're doing a pretty good job with stuff. I don't think anybody faults in any way, shape, or form the stuff that the front office, the scouting department, Brad Holmes, or whatever are doing with the guys that we're bringing in. And, hey, even when they don't find them or draft them themselves, they are finding a lot of guys that have some real good skill sets that they bring on in and say, somebody else missed what we think we can find here. So I like what we're doing there. Let's see, Bo, rivalry day ain't the same. Sure missing Jimmy Harbaugh. Oh, well, go Lions, exclamation point. Oh, yeah, 100% and thumbs up. JDC, morning all, back at you. Man, Barry, I'd say 10-plus players are close to elite. All right, hit me up with them. Let me know who you got on the list. And if I miss some people, I apologize. Aaron, good morning, Duke Crew, back at you. Tori, morning, Duke Crew. I see the Titans have a few names out for tomorrow. Hopefully we get some hooker time. I think it's possible because if that D can't hold up for them, I don't think they have much of a chance at all. I mean, you guys can have different thoughts. Obviously, anything can happen in the game. Their offense is going to struggle, I think, exponentially. And if that defense really can't stop us from scoring points early and often, then that offense for Tennessee really has to start forcing the ball. That's where I think we could really have some fun as a Lions defense. All right, Aaron E., go Lions roar. All right, good morning. Let's see, Matthew Green, salutations. Good morning, everyone. Superdome, Super Bowl. Woo, woo, woo. Sheila likes to woo in the fresh morning dew. She does indeed, my friend. You know, just for you. I haven't hit you with one of these in a minute, so. And now I have. Steve Green, salutations, Coach and the Duke Crew. I have a feeling that Hendon Hooker will be traded and Brad will want a lot for him. Without getting too much into trade talk, I think you're pretty spot on with that. I think the Lions coaching staff, and probably a lot of this is coming from, their own eyes or Ben Johnson or whoever in-house really sees a lot of upside with Hendon Hooker. And I get it, man. He's mature. You don't have to worry about, him doing stuff that, a 20, 21-year-old would do. He's beyond that stage in his life, at least I would think. He's got the size. He's got the arm. He's got the speed, the athleticism. He seems to be the whole package. It's just, unfortunately for him, he blew out his knee his senior year, and that dropped him probably a couple rounds in the draft. Yeah, I've said it before. I think he would have been a late first-round pick. Somebody would have traded up to get the fifth-year option on him, but that obviously didn't happen with his knee. Lions rolled the dice, grabbed him, and yes, they might be able to get something significant for him if they want to move on from him. And Joe C., good morning, Coach Dan and the Duke Crew, exclamation point. It sucks about Pascal, don't it? It does, man. We really need to get some edge rushers quick. It does, but it sounds like good news is for Pascal that he'll be back next week. It's just unfortunate that, they found something on that checkup test. They had to get rid of it, maybe put him on some meds for it. Hopefully all it is for him is something minor, which he's kind of alluded to that it is. So, again, thoughts and prayers for him and his family that, there's nothing more to it than that. All right, Mike the Marine Gunning. Howdy, Dan and Duke Crew. Thanks again for praying for my wife. She's home now in treatment for the rest of her life. Thank you, Jesus. Love the Lions Talk Live family. Love. Woo! Hey, that's great news, Gunny. And again, continued thoughts and prayers. Hopefully it just continues to be good news for her and you. France, good day, do fam. I like this topic today. Break from the trade. Yeah, 100%. Break from the trades. I can think of roughly 6 players who fit the conversation for elite. All right, let me know who you got in the comment section. Stephanie, good morning, boys. Exclamation point. Hitting the gym on my day off, so I had to listen and getting ready for Broski to accept my challenge. Hey, you let me know when that's going to happen between you two. We will broadcast that pay-per-view free of charge. Let the whole world watch what happens in the squared circle. Joe C., good morning, Stephanie. I don't think Broski wants none of you. No, probably not. Stephanie, she's a fierce competitor, I guess would be a good way to put it. Let's see, Jess Green, citations. Tell me I'm wrong, everyone. I'm worried about tomorrow's game for some reason. Am I overthinking things? Question mark. I think so, but again, it is the NFL. You look up the score at the end of the fourth quarter. That will tell you if you won or lost, if you overreact or not. Don't walk into a game thinking it's going to be easy because it never is. Too many good players, even they may not be elite players, there are too many good players on every team. Joe C., that's great news, Gunny. 100%. I agree with that. 100%. Steve, we are a better team than Tennessee, and Dan will make sure they are ready. I would agree so. I like the way MCDC's wired. I think he's going to go out there like I suspect he does all the time. He wants teams to grind. He wants them to be focused. I think they will be. Brent, good morning. Dan, the Duke Crew, Lombardi, and no bust, exclamation point. Oh, yeah. And good morning, Brent. I like the new thumb. Yeah, that's pretty awesome. Free JMO. Papa, what do you got? Good morning to you all. My thinking is our running backs have a very strong day. I think there's probably a good opportunity for that. I'm guessing David Montgomery is going to come in ready to put in some work because, hey, he had a fumble last week. You could see him beat himself on the sideline. I think he's going to want to unleash that pent-up energy on the Titans. And, hey, Gibbs, man, this guy is flying around and doing some real nice stuff. Just see. But everyone have a great day. Talk to you all tomorrow. Exclamation point, go Lions, one pride, baby. Woo! Have a great day, Joseph. Hopefully you go out there and enjoy it. Steve, best wishes to Gunny and the family. Agreed with that. AJ, Stephanie Water, I pay good money to watch you in the ring with Broski. I'm guessing most of us would. I think that would be a time well spent watching. Maddie B, y'all see the spread on this game? 11.5 points is the most since Barry was playing. We are minus 750 favorite, meaning you have to bet 750 to win 100, and they got to win by 12 points. Yeah, that doesn't make any sense to me why you would have to do that, but it doesn't sound right. But hey, it is what it is. You guys, if you do gambling and stuff, make heads or tails of that. Frank Tank, what up, dude? Crew, East Side, woo, woo, woo. Go Lions, 100%. Good morning, Frank. By the way, Detroit D, greetings, salutations, everyone. Same to you, my friend. Hopefully, you have an outstanding start to your day. Robert, greetings, salutations. Back at you. Hopefully, you're having a do or two. Quentin, greetings, salutations, y'all. Not Lions news, but the 13th Warrior is one of the most underrated, understated movies ever. Yeah, I know that movie, and don't remember the saying offhand, and I'm not going to bore you guys on the chat with it, but that line that they all recite when they go into battle, yeah, man, that's perfect for movies and stuff, man. So great movie indeed. Frank the Tank, yes, these players are elite. Half of them will be in the Hall of Fame, guaranteed. Go Lions. I'm down with that. Bo, did anyone see the powerless rankings on the That's Good Sports ? We used to be on there, not anymore. I would have to check that out. No, I have not seen that. Mr. Nico, the Lions have been built to be a dynasty. While players, coaches, and people from the upper offices come and go, if we keep this culture alive, we will be good. The NFL will acknowledge one pride. I think you're spot on with that. They've done a great job putting it together. Trey, Quentin would see. Very good movie. Agreed. Yeah, 13th Warrior, very good movie. Voltron Force, any trade news updates? None that I've heard since yesterday. So, I mean, that's all I got for you. So, and usually Fridays and Saturdays are kind of slow days with NFL offices and team offices, not fully closed, but a lot of them are bare staffed at that point. Let's see, Robert, 761 shows and counting, along with 1,231 breaking news segments. Woo! That's a lot, my friend. And hey, thank you for watching them all, my friend. Bo, love that movie, Quentin. Yeah, great movie. Robert Hatman and woo! Coffee, 100%. Let's see, Maddie B. Nope on trade updates, but it would be nice for a guy named Landry to not fly back to Tennessee. Yeah, man, if they could just have him walk over into our locker room, switch uniforms, and just play with us tomorrow, I'd be okay with that. Let's see, Jedi, what do you got? Robert, you are dedicated to the cause, 100% there. Bo, Quentin, question is, who is our 13th Warrior? Now, that's a very good question. Frank Tank, I know one thing, we've been watching this team for 40 years, and it's the best time in my life when it comes to the Detroit Lions. I love it. Thank you, Sheila, Dan, Brad, and company. Go Lions, 100% with that. Yes, it all began at the top with Sheila Ford Hamp. Steven, good question. Let's find out. Quentin, laughing out loud. I am hoping Houston tomorrow. Yeah, hopefully Houston can launch and be a problem for the Titans. Quentin, need that man to get right? Yes, let's see if this is a get right game for him. Detroit D, the Duke Crew is the 13th Warrior. That's an awesome answer. I agree with that. Frank, I do. Okay, you do, I do. We all drink Mountain Dew. Dave, ding, ding, ding. Now that's the answer at Detroit D. No, I agree. I think that's a phenomenal answer. Sosimo, good morning all. Good morning to you too. Frank Tank, Dan the Man, the number one podcast show in Detroit. Go Lions. Thanks for that, man. Thank you very much for that. Let's see, Bo, and be a better servant of God. Woo! All right, I'll be with that. See, Steven, any updates on Broderick Martin? I was surprised by that, Steven. We got one on Iffy yesterday from Dan Campbell and just said, basically he's progressing very well, basically on pace as they expected when they put him on IR. But I did not see anything on Broderick Martin. The last I seen or heard from anybody in Detroit was a week ago when Dan Campbell addressed it and said, he's getting close. So I didn't realize that when he sprained his knee or dislocated his knee, that it was that big of an injury, but there must have been more to it than what I was knowledgeable of. So, all right, Matty B, it's been obviously absolutely awesome watching the Lions dominate. I'd like them to be a bit healthier for the stretch. Yeah, I mean, they're pretty healthy this week, all things considered. Hopefully, going down the stretch, yes, they can be very healthy. Michael D, in your opinion, I like Liam Mack. It would not cost the Lions much to attain him. Oh, yeah. Yeah, if they can pull that off, it's possible. But, man, Mack's been in the league a while. You're not seeing a huge season from him or Joey Bosa. So would it cost much to get him? Probably not. Hopefully you could squeeze whatever's left in him out for this year, maybe 2. Robert, elite. You want elite? It's the entire organization. The Lions are changing how the NFL teams think about players and procedures! ! It's about time. Let's go, Lions. I'm down with that. And yes, I think you are seeing teams mimic or mirror copy what the Lions are doing. Trump's, buckle up, 100%. The Lions are going to be ready to roar tomorrow. Amy, good morning, Dan and Scooby-Doo crew! ! This is an amazing team. I wonder if the Titans will get the Honolulu Blue flu, or will they be their lack of abilities to garner a true loss. I think we should be 6-1. Yeah, I think tomorrow we'll be 6-1 indeed. At least that's my prediction. And good morning, Amy, by the way. Broski, I think we should start the conversation by first defining elite. So my thought was, Broski, top 5, maybe you could say top 10 player, depending on the position. Matty B, elite would be setting league records, which has been happening regularly. I would agree with that, or agreed. Lions Talk Line fam, good morning all. Back at you, my friend. Good to see you. Steven, elite is 18 for 18 on Monday night against a team who has owned us in the past. Now, that's not wrong there. Very good thought there. Robert, Groski's elite is the opposite of Chicago Bears. That could also be true. Also very true. Lions Talk Live fan, what do you got? The whole offense and the secondary. The D-line, the best they can. All right, I would like that. Very aggressive. Robert Broski, yes, it was. Matt B, I know the Bears haven't done that in decades, so you might have anything to compare to Broski Bear. No, I agree with that. Broski's, I can't think of the last time they've had a quarterback do anything like that. Robert, okay, let's get this out of the way. Time to ban Broski in. He's on a short leash as of late. I don't know what's been up with Broski, but it seems like for about a month and a half now, something just happened with him where, all of a sudden he's become like that uncle. Nobody wants to come to the house. So, Broski, what's ever going on with you, man? I hope you're okay, but something clearly has happened with you in the last 4 to 6 weeks where you just seem like you've become very angry. And I bottom my heart, man, I hope you're okay. All right, Broski, Matt B, by decades, do you mean the 3 decades the Lions went between winning a playoff game and the division? Hey, Broski, if you want to live in the past, great. But, I would say most of the time in life, you live in the moment. And what we can say is last year, we won 2 playoff games. How many did the Bears win? Let me know in the comments section. Is that so you elite equals superior in quality, rank, skill, etc.? That's probably that's a pretty good definition there. Steven, I really believe the only reason Broski chants on Lions Talk Live is for the purpose aggravation and ticketism. Boy, comments get old quick. It does, man. Broski, in my opinion, and this is again coming from the bottom of my heart, I really feel like Broski. I'm not trying to make this about you, man, but I just hope you're okay. I'll go with that. All right, Steven, I think he should accept Steph's challenge. Yes, if Stephanie and Broski want to get in the ring, let me know. Broski, what say you? Will you accept the challenge? Let us all know in the comments section because everybody's here wanting to see you get in the ring with Stephanie. She see what happens there. Matt B, Broski Bear, I'm talking about the Bears being irrelevant since the 80s. That might be true. Big D, Broski equals queer eye for the straight guy. Just saying. Okay. Just C. Oh yeah, congrats on 10,000 people. Do crew and Dan. Thanks for that. Yeah, I was surprised to wake up and see that today, but hey, it happened. Let's see, Sarge, greetings, salutations, go Lions. Woo! Good to see you, my friend, this morning. Big D, 10K. Woo! I'm down with that, and thanks for that, by the way. Matty B, Big D, It's good to have perspectives from all. Yeah, there you go. Let's see, Robert, Big D, ha ha ha. All right. Says Robert, Bo, I go for the eye test. Walk, look, act like an elite. You are an elite. All right, that's a good way to go with it. Gunny, congrats, 10,000. Woo! All right, thank you guys. Thank you very much. Big D, Matty B, very true, man. That was just my opinion. Hey, it's nothing wrong with having your opinion there. Mr. Nico, 10,000 subscribers, exclamation points. This is the best channel, Coach and Duke Crew, exclamation points. This channel has only just begun. We're going to see a championship for the Lions, and Coach Dan will get a play button from YouTube. Yeah, I don't know how that stuff works, man, as far as buttons and stuff like that. But if somebody wants to let me know, go ahead. And I'm not really sure what the button does, but hey, if they want to send me something, go for it. Brent, elite offensive line, elite running backs, elite quarterback, elite interior defensive line, and elite safeties. Lions, 42-13. And Sheila says, woo, I'll go with all the above. That would be awesome. Matty B, Big D, your opinion isn't wrong. All right. Broski, Matty B, what you're saying isn't true. You know, Broski, you're in here and I'm on other shows quite often saying a lot of stuff that ain't true, but it is what it is, right? Let's see. Matty B, Broski, the only thing the Bears have been known for in the 21st century is ruining the careers of the first round quarterbacks. That is a very accurate statement. Bo, I like it, Mr. DeWitt. Gun guy, more touchdowns than incompletions is elite. That's a very good point. And I did see that stat. I don't remember what it was, but yes, for the last month or so, Lions have more touchdowns than incomplete passes. Big D, Matty B, calls it like I see it. Go Detroit. I like the way you handle that. Trump, let's see, 2024 Lions. All right. Bo, it's a fair question, Broski. Are you going to get different descriptions across the board? Yeah. Everybody's going to have a different thought process on it. See, Trump's Pascal is soft, maybe. Oh, that sucks. Yeah. So whatever he's dealing with, and they didn't get specific, but it's something to do with his, cancer checkup. So again, thoughts and prayers for him and his family. Let's see, Gunny. Will Ben Johnson use off defensive linemen on short yardage play like the fridge? That would be fun too. I love watching Lions games because they are exciting, and I can get a woo. I'm down with that. Let's see, Broski. Bobo thinks personally, I'm not big on these Pro Football Focus grades. Too many time just this season. I watch a game and the grades just don't coincide with player performances. Broski, I'll agree with you on that. There's sometimes I don't remember what the situation was. Maybe it might have been when Graham Glasgow took over center for Frank Ragnow for a game. I thought he played a great game, but the grades would not support that. So you're not wrong with that. Derwin, good morning. Do family. Let's go Lions. I hope one of these defensive ends steps up and gets some pressure. Yeah, you're going to see some guys that maybe don't normally get a ton of reps. Get them tomorrow because you know what? There ain't nobody left. So let them get out there and see what happens. And maybe I think everyone can say, yes, skip cancer, 100% with that. Sarge, prayers for Pascal. Agree with that. Doug, let's see. You got Sewell, Ragnow, Laporta, Branch, Joseph, Goff, Montgomery, Gibbs, St. Brown, linebacker group, McNeil, Reeder. All right, that's not a bad group at all. Not a bad group at all. Trump's twice last week. Pascal was hurt sitting on the ground and just pops right back up and like nothing happened. Seems soft, question mark. Don't know he was dealing with issues. Yeah, he had cancer in college, beat it, and then came on back. So give him some credit for doing that. Now, hopefully it's just something minor that they had to tweak. All right, Dana, what do you got? Great salutations, Dan, the Duke Crew family. Are we ready for the Lions game this week? Go Lions. Woo! Yeah, and I will have the live cast tomorrow for the game. I'm suspecting it's going to be a fun game to call. See, Trump, Pascal, yes, correct. Gun guy, O-line is elite. I'm down with that. Bo, a consensus can be a start. Who we choose to include in that consensus is the hard part. Yeah, I'll go with that. All right, Broski, I'm talking this season, just this season so far. Who do you consider a top 1 or 2 performer on the Lions O-line? Well, let's start with Penei Sewell and then Frank Ragnow. Penei Sewell, I don't think there's anybody better in the league at the right tackle position than him. Frank Ragnow, I mean, he's definitely in that conversation for top 1, 2, or 3 as far as centers. I can't think of anybody that I could say is clearly better than him, but I'm not going to say like Penei Sewell. He just stands out. I don't think it's even close at his position. Frank, I think there's a couple guys that are close. Don, Nate Davis, Claypool, Venus Jones, King Poles, shake my head. All right, fair enough. J-Mo, Lion King, Sewell, and Ragnow. That's a good combo. Dimitri Stewart, what up, Doe? What up to you, too? Hopefully it's a great day for you. Bo Panay, of course, but I put GG up there considering all he does. Okay, Graham Glasgow, okay. Famous RW, Green Sanitation's coach and crew, headed back to Detroit for this weekend's game. See you there. Go have a fun time, my friend. Go have a great time. Doug, good morning. Owner, management, Brad Holmes, Spielman, scouts, on down the line. Without the injuries, honestly, we would be blowing teams out, especially after blending new and old added talent. I'll go. Yeah, I think that's pretty spot on there, Doug. Broski Don Bird, did you see Bears Wade Venus? I was thrilled. If Bears get rid of Nate Davis, that would be great, and also free up space to land an elite player by trade deadline. Okay, we'll see what the Bears do. Ryan, why can't we run a 3-4 defense to help our dilemma? Maybe they're messing with it. Maybe they've got something set up for it, but that's a good question. I just don't have the answer for you, Ryan. Let's see, Don Broski, Venus is going to go to the Chiefs or Ravens and look amazing. Now, wouldn't that be something? Yeah, somebody else picks him up and make him look like a Hall of Famer. That'd be very Bears of them. See, Dr. Detroit, Don, how funny. The great team keep adding players. Dollar General Brad is lame so far. Yeah, we'll see if he does something and it really shocks us all. But I think most of us are going to be really surprised if he does something that's massive. If he adds anything, it's probably going to be something minor. Matty B, Goff is not an elite. He's top 3 in the league. Okay. Goff is not on elite. Yeah, he's top 3 in the league. Yeah, I think at this point, what he's doing this season, yeah, he's definitely in the conversation for number 1, number 3 quarterback in the league. He's just on fire. Say, Bud, what do you got? No cap. Brad needs to spend that bag. Yeah, go after something. I think most of us are hoping he does, but just got to get him to do it. Broski, Bo Booth, Trump's Genius, Dr. Detroit. Good morning, fellas. There you go. Doug, our offense is elite. Period. Includes coaches and full roster of players, including additions of Tim Patrick. Yep. Weakness, line depth. All right, I'm done with that. Dr. Detroit, Goff is elite like Joe Montana, low INTs, and that proficiency. Just hard to argue he is not playing elite, and the more he does it, the more it is hard to deny. Correct. Yeah, Goff has his haters. There's no doubt about it. But I think those haters, I would think the way he's just rifled that ball all around and taking care of it the last month or so, it's hard to deny the fact when he keeps doing it week in, week out. All right, Bo, Goff is going to the Hall of Fame. I think that qualifies, health permitting, which is true for anyone. Correct. I'll go with that. Dr. Troy, good morning, Broski. Bo, back at you, Broski. All right. Dunbar, Dr. Troy, yeah, he's definitely allowed on a draw. I don't see a splash move, maybe a mid-level move. I was excited about the Keon White talks, but it seems like a reach. I like the kid. I also get there are some people that question whether or not he would be a cultural fit here. I don't think he's that bad a reach. Now, with he's only in his second year. Is New England really going to part ways with him? I guess we wait and see. Sarge, Goff elite, most assuredly. I'm down with that. Dimitri, Goff has been elite before he got to Detroit. I would also agree with that. And I know we talked about him being in the MVP conversation prior to coming here. All right, Dr. Detroit, yeah, Brad is a drafter, Don. This is not where he is strong. Okay. Jason Green, Sanitations, Coach Thornton is elite level, just saying. Superdome or bust. Thank you for that. And good to see you, my friend. Say, Dr. Detroit, elite quarterbacks don't get traded with picks, homies. That might be true, but hey, thankfully the Rams sent him over here. Trump, Hutch is already better than Robert Porsche. Oof, man, I'd say they're very similar in some ways, but Porsche, man, he had like a 3-year window. It wasn't nearly as young as what Hutchinson is doing, but he had a 3-year window where he was just lights out, man. It was like every game you saw teams trying to double team him, he was still good with the quarterback, but you might be right on that. All right, Dr. Troy, Hutch might be the best defensive end we've ever had. He's going to be in the conversation when it's all said and done, but to be fair, Detroit's had some dang good defensive ends over the decades. Doctor, our defensive ends tomorrow are Isaiah Thomas, James Houston, Ukwa. Yes, we are going to be a little different. Although I wouldn't be surprised if Levi Onwuzurike plays some defensive end for us out there. And he is somebody I think can make some moves and make some plays. Sarge, Hutch, oh yeah, him also? Yes, correct. Let's see, Bo, Coach Headroom, Lieutenant Dan Max Thornton is our 13th warrior. Definitely elite. Thanks for that, man. I'll take that. Coach Headroom in the house. Dr. Troy, laughing out loud. It's a joke, Don. Brad is not doing enough. Correct? Okay. Matty B, Hutch definitely elite. I just hope he can return at the same level. Yeah, I have no doubt, Matty B, that he'll be fine in time. He'll be the same player. I don't think it's going to be a problem, considering now that we got full details on what happened with the leg, and the fact that no blood vessels, arteries, or nerves were damaged, or muscles were damaged. I think he's going to be just fine. Oops, hold on, something here popping up here. All right, Broski, I think Lions made a move by the deadline. Zadarius Smith makes a lot of sense. Garrett would be a huge surprise if he got that move. Yeah, if we can make that happen, I think all Lions fans would be happy. All right, hold on here. I got something glitching on the computer. Man, it's been happening more and more lately. I don't know why. All right, well, it seems to have corrected itself. All right, Trump's definitely in my 50-plus years of watching, I'll go with that. Yeah, I think most of us agree. Defensive end, okay. Jason agreed. Dr. Troy, we'd need Garrett and Smith just to fill holes. We might indeed. Matty B, Branch is the best safety of the last 2 seasons in the league. I would say, man, he is turning some heads, ain't he? Dimitri St. Brown is elite, no doubt about it. I like the way you're thinking. Bo, Brian, the Brain Branch. Woo! All right. Let's see, Dr. Troy, Branch is Hutch level. Joseph is close to. Yeah, Joseph, I think if he continues it up, maybe he gets up to that elite levels there. Let's see, Burger Time, what do you got? What's up, Dan, Matt, and Duke crew? Go Lions. Woo! Good morning to you too, my friend. Doug, you realize Branch has only been with us since 2022. He has everything you need. He is, man, and he's just getting started. His upside is still emerging. Him and Kirby Joseph, to be fair. Trump's, or where does Kirby rate? I think he's a very, very good safety. I think in time, he could potentially become elite. I would say this. I think he's elite in single high zone coverage. I'm not so sure if he's great yet in man-to-man or against the run. But to me, that's why I would not keep him in that conversation, but he's damn good. Let's see. Don, Garrett not happening. Crosby not happening. The guy I want is Keon White from Pats. Let's see what happens. Dr. Detroit, don't say never, Don. TJ isn't saying never, and he talked to Crosby. Okay. All right. Let's see, Doug, he's talking Sewell yesterday, says Dr. Detroit. Matty B, Sewell is the best offensive lineman player of all time. Man, he's just so incredibly rare with what he can do from a physical standpoint. It's crazy he's an offensive lineman. Jason, BB is becoming pro football focus king, Lions king of the NFL. I'd say there's a lot of truth to that. Dr. Detroit, Sewell is the top 5 offensive line we never had for sure. We have had some really good offensive line players. Yeah, we have Lomas Brown, Kevin Glover, among other guys, but he's in that conversation. Maybe even better than, to be fair. Sarge, Branch, St. Brown, Sewell, all elite. I will agree with that. Dr. Troy, we have our core. Why are we hoarding picks? The only person that can answer that is the guy at the top at Brad Holmes. See, Don Burr, Doctor, if you're listening to TJ, the latest interview, he closed the Crosby door. Okay, fair enough. Dimitri, BB is definitely elite. Yeah, and I think the rest of the league is starting to realize that. Twin Peaks, woo! All right, and hey, that's a good name, good show back in the day. Bo, MCDC, and Ben Johnson are going to get Panay a TD, and Skipper or Panay, who is first? Man, I think Panay Sewell will probably be first just because his athleticism. All right, Matty B, how about Monty and Gibbs? Question mark. Both elite level running backs. I think they're getting close. I think the thing that hurts them, Matty, and this is my opinion, I think they have the ability, but the fact that they split carries so much, I don't know. We'll see. I'd say J-Mo Lions King. Dan, I disagree. Panay Sewell is the best offensive lineman in the league, right tackle or left tackle. Fair enough, man. I had him as the best right tackle, but you're right with that, J-Mo. You can probably have him as elite and basically just say offensive line because I really believe he could play any position on the O-line. Let's see, Jason, MCDC is elite. Woo! I'll go with that. He's got to be up there in the coaching rankings. Let's see, Dr. Detroit, Don. No, he said the door is cracked open. It's not shut all the way, and we'll see the next week what that said. Yeah, when somebody says something's not possible, I can only tell you what I think. Just from having to coach or watch things forever, it just seems like that usually means the door is actually open. It's just if you want to come get me, you're going to have to pay. And hey, let the Lions pay. I'm fine with it. Lions Talk Live, closed doors are meant to be open. I like the way you're thinking. Dr. Troy, I just watched it. Jason, Trevor Nowoski for MVP? Maybe he can get a couple more sacks this week. And he might because, you know what? We're probably going to blitz a lot. And especially if we get a sizable lead, you might not be wrong, Jason. He might be able to be unleashed a little bit on some delayed blitzes and maybe gets 2 or 3 sacks. Twin Peaks, Barnyard fine. That Nowoski kid, yes, Saginaw Valley State University player. Yeah, and you know what? Like I said, the dude is just massively athletic. When you watch him on the field, if he gets taught some stuff, he learns and he's developed. You can't teach what he's got. You can teach what he's missing. Matty B, Monty is a top 5 in the league. Okay. And yes, he might be the second best running back in the league overall this year. Dr. Troy, yep, we picked the scrap heap again. Yeah, we found the diamonds in the rough. Broski, Don Bird, Keon White seems like that prototype. 4'3", defensive end, 6'5", 285 pounds, still young too, only 25, 11 quarterback hits so far this season, and 4 sacks. Very good numbers so far. Yeah, and I think if you put them along with some better players, those numbers are probably going to increase. Lions Talk Live fam, Tim Patrick, 2 TDs tomorrow. Like maybe he's going to be. He'll get more opportunities because J-Mo won't be there, so there'll be more passes to go around to the guys who are out there. Dana, let's see, Jared Goff elite, Hutch elite, St. Brown elite, Brian Branch elite, Panay elite, Ragnar elite, Trevor Noweski good level, but like you said, could be a diamond in the rough. Yeah, I think in time he could be definitely something we're all thankful he's back. Don, man, I wish I could get some guys back like week 12 or so. All of our guys have season-ending injuries. Barnes, Davenport, Hutchinson, Pico, shake my head, Mosley may come back, and Martin. Yeah, I'm thinking Mosley and Martin will be back. And from there, well, I guess we'll just wait and see what happens with everybody else. Let's see, Dr. Troy. Okay, I'll check out White. I don't know much about that kid. Yeah, he's a pretty angry 280-something. I mean, he can motor, and he's strong. Matty B. And then we all love the puppy kicking OC, Ben Johnson. That is a lucky guy to have. Yeah, to have a job here. I'll agree with that. Brosi, Branch played elite against Vikings. Yeah, Vikings and Cowboys. I want to say he played elite level. Gosh, what is it? Against the Cardinals, too. Don't hold me to that, but that sounds right. Scott and the Cowboys. Lions Talk Live fam. 9 defensive players injured. Yes, we've got a lot of injuries on that side. Don Broski, Ken is a perfect fit. Young, and he's a dog. People sleeping on him. Yeah, and that's why maybe the Lions try to get him or Walker from the Jags. Scott and Gibbs for sure. Dana, J-Mo tested for Adderall. Yes, that does seem to be the growing consensus. Let's see, David, how do you rate Jack Campbell at this stage of development? Is he an elite or trajectory? Anything can change. I think he's playing at a very good level. Now, on a scale of 1-10, if I was to say where he's playing, I'd say he's about an 8. So, to me, the NFL average at his position is going to be about that amount, so right around there. So if he can take it up another level, and for me, it's going to come down to his pass coverage. If he can do that, or getting to the quarterback a lot more when they release him after the quarterback, then he can push for elite. But he's not there yet. But I don't think he's been a disappointment at all. He just needs more time to grow. He's got to read things faster. That's my opinion. Dr. Troy, Campbell is not elite. Correct. Not yet. Dr. Troy, really good so far, though. Yes, I would agree with that. Johnny, can we say touchdown, St. Brown? I think we can. And good morning to you. Keith, though, Don Bird, Keon White is a dog. I've been screaming his name since Hutch went down. Yeah, I think a lot of people are jumping on that bandwagon for sure. Jason, don't forget Jake the Hitman Bates. Yes, you are right on that. I probably should have put them up there. I mean, he hasn't missed anything yet, so hard to knock the guy. Doug, perfect scenario, get blowouts. Hooker time for showing his value and experience in the rest of the year. Yes, it gets some, I don't want to go into that kind of talk, but yes, I'd say get him some opportunity to grow for sure. Don Keito, man, would love Keon White. He's a Dan Campbell type player. I think so. From what little I've been able to see of him and hear him talk, watch his mannerisms, I think, yeah, they would get along pretty well. Bo, Brad Holmes, free agent acquisitions, Anzalone, Leaf, Monty, Reader, just a few producers. Correct. He's done okay with them. See, Richards, Jake Bates is an elite long-distance place kicker. That might be true, and yeah, I probably should have thought of that. See, Dr. Detroit, Hooker is worth his weight in gold. He is mature. And he's got nothing but upside. Bo, the Legend of Legatron, a free agent acquisition. It was. See, Keitho, Don Burr, 100%. Earl, go, 100% Earl, and good morning, by the way, Lions Talk Live fan. Hooker knows the system, not letting him go. And again, from what I can report, I don't think the Lions really are in a hurry to let him go. I get why teams would want him, like the Browns, but it doesn't mean just because somebody wants him, you're going to let him go. Keith, though, better watch those prescription meds, right, get suspended? Yes, and according to J-Mo, it wasn't anything to do with that. But you know what? That's as much as I know, guys. Let's see. Don Broski on Hard Knocks polls was offered a 4th-round pick for Avails, turned it down, then cuts him for free. Polls isn't good. Yeah, and like you said, maybe somebody else goes somewhere, or maybe goes somewhere else and picks up somewhere. Earl, praise God, all is well with your wife. Yeah, 100%. 100% for Gunny. Manberg, so what's the score prediction for Lions? I'm thinking 34-13 Lions. I'll go with that. Earl, good morning, Dan. Good morning, Earl. Twin Peaks 30-3. All right, I'll take that. See, Burger Time, some Lions fans are close. Maybe. Keitho, I want to see Baki get some reps. Yeah, there might be an opportunity. Downbird 31-16. Let's see, Dimitri, Gunny, 100%. All right, guys, I'm going to try to, since we're into overtime here, I'm going to try to go through the comments, try and find people that haven't been in yet, and try to help those people out. Scott, is Hooker and a 2nd-round pick really the sticking point from getting the deal done between us and the Browns for Garrett Smith? From my understanding, yes, those are the sticking points. Let's see, Stephanie versus Broski. My money on Stephanie. That's probably money-wise spent, I would think. But I've never seen or met Broski, so I don't know anything about him. I do know the other. All right, Don, I was banned from multiple pods for calling him Eberflus trash. There you go. Let's see, Mike the Marine, hit the thumbs up for Dan Ducru. Thanks for that, my friend. Brian, Mark Brunell deserves most of the credit for Goff's good play. Go, Goff, go Lions. 100%. I like the way you're thinking there. And yes, probably does need some credit for it. Courtney, yes, forget to thank you, Dan. Love your show. Exclamation point. Positive and good info. Hey, no worries, man. Glad to help out. Glad you guys like it. Lions in first. Broski unhinged, maybe. Bo, what has he got? AI squad. All right. Trump's Broski is living rent free. That might be true. Scott Broderick Martin is starting to feel like a bust. Let's hope not, but, they do need to get him on the field. Man Bear, if I ever hit a woman, he already lost. If a man already hits a woman, yeah. It might be true. Yep. Motor City 45. Broski Bear, your team is not good. All right? Wise words indeed there. Dimitri, Dan, nothing wrong with that bum Broski Bear. Respectfully, stop babying him and ban him from the chat. He's not a Lions fan. Hope he belongs. Yeah, he doesn't belong here. Correct with that. So, all right, let's see. Phil, good morning. Back at you. Always, my friend. Good to see you. Michael D., the coach would have to have 10,000 subscribers to get a YouTube play button. Yeah, I mean, maybe that day comes, but I'm not anticipating it anytime soon. So, Scott, I can see clearly what now that Broski's gone. Correct. You can see clearly. I get it now, man. Yeah, right on. Scott says Trump's. Let's see, Sarge. I wish someone would teach Goff to run on the balls of his feet. Yes, maybe they could work with him on that. Gun guy, he's mad the Bears are not strong again. That might be true. Lions rule, Bears rule, as always. JDC, Thunder and Lightning, correct. Patrick, Broski Bear, doing okay. Hope you are as well. And we'll see about Stubbs. This may be his last hurrah for the team this year. Correct with that. I mean, nothing is impossible. Never is, my friends. Let's see. Boss Up Ball Up Podcast, Kurt Steele. Live chat, Boss Up Ball Up Podcast now. Game predictions. I will go have to check that out. Brent, happy trails, one prime. We'll go with that. And good, happy trails and good day to you too. Dimitri, good morning from Texas. Good morning to you too, my friend. All right, guys, I'll go ahead and get out of here. If there is some sort of breaking news today, I'll get it over to you when possible. Otherwise, take care. Enjoy the rest of your day. If you would be so kind, hit that subscribe button. Hit that thumbs up button. Helps the channel out a lot. Be kind to each other. Be good human beings. See you on the next Lions Talk Live. Take care, everybody. You're still here? What are you doing here? It's over. The show's over. Go home.